Do you talk about your reboot with anyone in your life? Have you told them about the steps you take every day to overcome your behavior with pornography and masturbation? You know, some men face pushback when they excitedly tell their loved ones about the work they're doing in the Porn Reboot program. You know, they're opening up, they're letting people know that they're making these positive changes in their life, but not everyone understands. Especially they don't understand the depths that we go to in our addiction, which means they won't understand the lengths that we have to go to overcome it. So what do you do when you face judgment about your reboot? That's what we're going to be covering today. I'm JK Emezi, head coach at Porn Reboot and founder of Elevated Recovery. We help high-achieving, high-performing professionals, business owners, entrepreneurs, and leaders control the out-of-control behavior with porn, sex, and masturbation discreetly within 90 days. So today's topic is actually based on a question from a brother in our group, and I'm going to read it out for you guys. Hey JK, I have a question about how we share our experiences in this group. I often find myself trying to explain the goals and benefits of this program without pushing them to sign up, that he's talking about other people. I find some people to be pretty open-minded about what we do here, but others seem to think that what I do for my reboot is excessive or even unhealthy. And I was reflecting on this in my journaling, knowing that what I do is beneficial for me, so it shouldn't matter what others think. But I still sometimes find myself threatened by their judgments. Do you have any tips for people who find themselves prone to insecurity caused by the judgment from their close friends? This is actually a great question because a lot of men who embark on the reboot process end up falling off and quitting sometimes because of the opinions of others in their life. Sometimes it's a man whose wife thinks he's being a little bit too open and vulnerable with men whom she sees as strangers. She would rather that he speaks to their pastor or a local therapist instead of working with the Porn Reboot system. And other times it is friends who insist that putting aside time for a reboot routine every day is too much to ask. You know, every man in the Porn Reboot program has some sort of routine. It usually is a combination of some form of journaling, reading, meditation, or some form of self-reflection. But for some people, this is too big of a commitment. They think it's too regimented and they think that you should find an easier way to accomplish the task. What I want to say is that ultimately, it's normal to experience some resistance from those around you whenever you embark on a significant path of change in your life. Oftentimes, your moving forward is going to expose other people's unwillingness to do the same. It's going to expose their fears. And human beings are very tribal beings. We want to maintain the status quo, and we feel bad when we see other people progressing. When I say we, I'm not referring to me, but you know what I'm saying. Some people feel bad. These people basically try to take you down a notch as you make these positive changes in your life. And there are plenty of phrases that describe this phenomenon, right? You've heard of the tall poppy syndrome or crabs in a barrel, where the crabs are pulling each other down when one tries to escape. Again, it's because it is human nature to feel threatened when others around you are leveling up in life. People tend to bring you down instead of rising alongside you. Here's a quick story from my life. When I was 20 years old, I realized that I was a complete loser, that I was headed for complete destruction if I didn't make a change. I was lazy, I was failing out of college, I had horribly low self-esteem, and I wasn't so sure I was even going to survive to see my 30s. I was at some points honestly so depressed that I did fantasize about taking my life or fantasize about something happening to me. I didn't want to see my life end tragically, so I decided that I was going to transform every aspect of my life. Everyone who knew me, my friends and family, all of them thought I was insane. And they were hassling me whenever I tried to make a change. Firstly, I started lifting weights at the gym. My family told me that I wasn't built to be like a jacked guy, that I was always going to be skinny, I didn't have the genetics, and when I hit 30 years old, I'd have like a belly. That's the way things were. When I started a door-to-door sales job to overcome my introversion, my friends insisted that I wasn't cut out for the job. I didn't let their judgment bring me down. You know, I stuck with my convictions and I made a massive transformation in my life. Now, over time, I became stronger mentally and physically. I looked better. I worked through my fear of talking to people, to strangers. I became one of the best recruiters in that company. But despite those successes in my life, these were my personal successes, people still gave me a hard time, even as I continued to push myself to grow. When I decided to leave my former career and start Porn Reboot, friends and family tried to convince me otherwise. They told me that I was forever going to be identified as the porn guy because of the power of the internet search engines, and I would be screwed forever. Do I really want to be associated with porn addicts? I kept pushing forward though, and today we help thousands of men overcome their behavior with pornography and overcome their compulsive sexual behaviors. The work we do here at Porn Reboot is saving lives, it's saving relationships, it's saving careers, it's saving families, and none of this would have been possible if I listened to the naysayers when I was in my 20s. Right now, we are the most successful porn addiction recovery company on the planet. At the end of the day, gentlemen, what I want to say is that judgment is part of human nature. It's natural for people to question you when you decide to make a significant change. Part of it is the threat which comes from your growth, but another is actually from genuine concern for your well-being, right? Your loved ones don't want you to make bad decisions. More often than not, they truly care for you. So it's a little bit of a mix of both. But you must continue with what you know is true for you. If you're facing judgments because of your reboot, all you need to do is trust that it will pay off in the end, because it will. And we have an abundance of proof within the Porn Reboot system that it will. Their judgment will mean nothing once you've gained control over your behavior with porn and masturbation. Nothing can actually replicate the feeling of overcoming something that has been dictating your life for years. So it won't always be easy to push through the negativity and the negative judgment, but it will be worth it when porn and masturbation no longer threatens everything that's important to you. The time that you take to do your daily routine is nothing compared to the time that your porn addiction took from you. So people are not judging you for all those times you were hiding and viewing pornography, but they are judging you for the times that you're trying to work on yourself, which is crazy, right? So again, brothers, lean into the Porn Reboot system. Our free Facebook group is filled with men who understand what it means to be controlled by pornography and a compulsive sexual behavior. They recognize the extent that we need to go so that we can live normal lives. And they will offer support for you when you feel like you have none from the people in your life. So you don't have to deal with this struggle alone. I want you to know that we are here for you. I'm very appreciative for all these brothers who have been dropping these awesome questions over the last couple of weeks. Please keep doing so. Gentlemen, if you enjoy watching these videos, please drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment. I will respond to you. The name of our channel is Porn Reboot, which means that the YouTube algorithm is not very favorable to us. But this is something that I've truly dedicated my life to. And just the free resources from our Facebook group, the free resources from YouTube, the free resources from our podcast, the free resources from our newsletter, even all the different therapeutic exercises that we give away in our Facebook group, that they are better in most cases than most of the courses out there that are helping you to end your out of control behavior. So we have great material. Support us, download the free material, drop a comment, subscribe, share this video if you found it helpful, and I'll speak to you later on in the week.